Hi there, welcome to another Proxmox tutorial. What are the requirements for installing Proxmox on production environment and testing environment? Let's go. As we said, Proxmox is an open source virtualization platform for virtual machines and for containers. And also Proxmox integrate cluster management with a modern browser-based interface. Proxmox virtual environment enable centralized management of multiple servers in a cluster and also support flexible storage backends as DAS, SAN, NAS, and also support self-storage cluster. Clustering and centralized management in Proxmox. Proxmox can create a cluster to centrally manage multiple Proxmox servers with high availability options. Flexible storage integration. Proxmox can combine local disk with a shared storage, such as self-storage cluster. And also Proxmox support modern web interface. Administer the environment through a secure browser-based GUI on a modern browser. Production hardware overview for Proxmox. In terms of CPU, we need Intel 64 or AMD 64 is supported by Proxmox. Minimum 2 GB of RAM is supported for Proxmox. If you use self-storage cluster, for every 1 TB self-storage cluster, you need 1 gig RAM. 2 gig is for operating system. 1 gig is for self-storage per 1 TB storage. And also you need more RAM and CPU for installing virtual machines and operating systems. In terms of storage, SSD storage are recommended for installing Proxmox, and also ZFS and ZIF is also supported by Proxmox. In terms of network, Proxmox can support one NIC and redundant NIC interfaces for best performance. Also, Proxmox can support PCI pass-through. CPU and memory requirements for Proxmox. As we said, processor that support 64-bit CPU, Intel 64 or AMD 64 is supported by Proxmox. And also the options virtualization extension should be enabled on BIOS, which are Intel VT or AMD-V. And also you should plan core count for expected VMs and containers. If you have more VMs and more containers, you need more RAM and more CPU. In terms of RAM, 2 gig is recommended for testing environment that install Proxmox. And also you can use more RAM in production. If you are using ZIF or ZFS for storage management, approximately 1 gig RAM per 1 TB storage you need. Storage and network requirement for Proxmox. In terms of storage, as we said, SSD storage are preferred and recommended for installing Proxmox. Proxmox also support RAID controller. You can install Proxmox over a RAID controller. Pay attention that when you are using ZFS or ZIF, ZFS and ZIF are not compatible with hardware RAID controller. A minimum requirement for installing Proxmox on testing environment. CPU, you can use 64-bit processor, and also you can enable the options virtualization support, 1 gig memory and storage as you have. Even you have SSD, HDD is support both NIC card. One NIC card is also supported in testing environment. But browser supported by Proxmox, you can use this modern browser, which are Firefox is also supported by Proxmox, Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Safari. These are the browsers that support by Proxmox. The installation options for Proxmox is either you can download the standard installation ISO from official website or install Proxmox on a Debian based operating system. Which option is preferred? Recommended option is to download the ISO file from the official website and install this ISO on your platform. In production environment, pay attention in terms of your hardware resources, about your quality of your hardware servers, support about your CPUs, about your storage, and you should have a RAM planning, that how much RAM do you have, how much RAM do you need in terms of storage. You need planning to plan which storage do you use, which protocols of storage you use. In terms of network redundancy, you have to plan in production environment.